Hey, Coach, I'm super excited you found us on YouTube. That's exciting for all of us. If you like these kind of resources, make sure you go over and check out teachhoops.com up above. Great resource, 14-day free trial, become a mentor, everything you would ever want to become a better coach. So go check that out. That's first thing. Second thing is make sure you subscribe. Go down below, make sure you subscribe, and you'll get all the updates and everything that kind of moves forward. So have a great day. Talk to you soon. And if you want anything new, put it down below. And I hope you enjoy the video.
All right. February. I love it. All right, Coach. What's our episode 24 of High School Hoops? What do we got today?
We're getting to that point of starting to talk about playoffs, so I'd like to dedicate a little bit of time to talking about maybe adding some things to prepare yourself for the playoff season. So adding new arsenal to prepare for the big run in March.
Right. So I think it's important to not wait until tournament time to start thinking about who you could possibly play, what you need to be able to do against those specific teams.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes people wait too long. Like I can tell you, in the beginning of January, I'm already starting to think, okay, we might play these opponents. We're going to have to beat this opponent. What am I going to have in? What am I going to have to, part of it is that clutter we were talking about getting rid of, but it's also, this is more about, I got to add a good delay game. I got to add some situational stuff where we're down 3 with 2 minutes to go. How am I going to handle it? I think those are the things you have to start adding to your arsenal come tournament time.
I think
haven't been doing it all season.
Right. I think too, though. I think it becomes a mindset change, and you as a coach, and I know you and how you think is you're always talking about early in the season when you start the season. What are we going to do to get to March? I don't think coaches always believe that their team is going to get to March. And so I think, especially if you're taking over a program and they haven't had a lot of success, like, I don't know, like you've been to, the state championship multiple times. I think it's a little bit easier for you because you've been there and so forth.
Right.
So it's a little harder for people to think about, I just hope that we win a game or win or two, another game when it comes to playoff time. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I think it becomes a whole mindset change before anything.
Yeah, I think it does too. And it's like, we were just talking about, we were on a 4-game losing streak.
Right.
And, I saw a couple of my boys today because they were helping out at a youth tournament. And it's like, I said, my goals haven't changed. I think we can still, be competitive. I think we win this thing. It's like your mind shift. Don't let your mind play, mind games. You have to be able to, like, how can we do this? What are the, you don't run a marathon by training for 2 days. It's a long process. Ironman's a great example of it. It takes a year to plan. If you want to be an Ironman, you got to plan a year. You have to learn how to swim and to bike and to run and do them all in the same day and da da da. So there's a planning process that I think needs to come in. And then when you're doing that, when you're thinking about that in terms of a big picture, you have to narrow it down to, like, okay, I need a delay game. I get up 4 in the fourth quarter. I got to be able to pull the ball out and take some time off the clock. Or, shoot, we might get down to this opponent. I'm going to have a couple full court presses in just so we can counter them. So I think those are the things you got to really start thinking about.
It goes back to you, and you always talk about planning out your whole season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can be able to add a bunch of new stuff when it's because it goes end of season and literally 4 or 5 days later you're into the playoffs. You can't do that much.
Right.
And it's in a short amount of time. So you have to be thinking already in January, what are some things that we don't have that already should have been added? So we're in February now. A lot of our guys listening to this are maybe got 2 to 3 weeks before they get going into playoff mode, and,
right.
They got to start thinking about what do they need to do, what are some things that they could add to their program, their team going into playoff time. So what are your suggestions? What are some things that have given you success in regards to adding some things moving into tournament time.
Well, I mean, we do situations all year, but we don't
Yep.
do them as much as we should.
Hmm.
So come mid-February, we're doing situations a lot.
Yep.
We're doing a lot of, I have my assistant coach go, you just pick something, put it on the clock, and we're going to go for 4 minutes or 2 minutes or 37 seconds, or whatever he puts up there. So I think that's a really important part because
Do you know every situation that's
I don't know
coming
any
up?
of them. I know none of them. When he puts
Do you
them up,
think that's valuable for a coach to be able to be thinking on the fly sometimes in practice with your players? Because that's really what it's pretty authentic in that sense. I like that actually.
it's more about it's practice for me too.
Right.
I'm not running up and down the court with them, but I need to be put in that situation where the game's close. What am I going to do? And then what I usually do is I'll take my top 7, and then I'll give 2 of my assistants the other group. So I'm having to play a little bit of chess too.
Yeah.
Because they'll know that we're going to do this to you, and then I got to counter that, and he just ran an out of bounds play, but I'm going to counter this, and then we literally put everything on the board. How many timeouts are left? Whether we're in the double bonus, John's in foul trouble, blah blah blah. So I 2 days ago we did like 4 of them, and it takes some time. You gotta chunk out like 20 minutes to do it because it takes some time to reset the clock. But what I use is when one of my assistants is doing that on the clock. So let's say we do a 2-minute one, game's over, whatever. While he's resetting the next one, putting the score up, the fouls, all that stuff, telling who's in foul trouble. I'm talking to the group about, okay, here's what we could have done. Here's what we should have done. Here's maybe how we could have reacted.
That's the whole cerebral part of basketball.
It is. And I just do it for me.
What are your other thoughts about subtracting things? So often we want to add things. Do you think it's beneficial for coaches to start subtracting things at the end of the season?
No, I think the subtraction thing is good. We lost a state title because somebody threw a 2-3 zone at us, and they had worked on it for like one day in December. It was Tosa. So if we've done it at some point, it's still there. It might not be very good. So it's subtraction, but not elimination is the way I kind of refer to it.
All right.
Maybe we ran a 1-3-1 for 2 months, and then we haven't done it in a month because that would be a subtraction, but it's still there. It's still in the back of my head. Like I can always take a 30 and say, here's what we're going to do. Here's where you go. We have done this. You know how to do it. So yeah, I like the word subtraction rather than elimination.
Okay.
But
what about this? The topic is really about adding arsenal. Are there any suggestions or things that you, as a veteran coach, would think that'd be important for somebody to add or maybe to put in before the playoff time?
Yep. I always have I always have some quick hitters, some out of bounds plays. I always have things that no one has seen.
Okay.
That we haven't done really in a game at all, or if it's a game, then I know it's a game no one's going to be scouting. But we've worked on it in practice for at least a couple weeks. So I think that's really important to it's part of the chess match a little bit. That here's going to be this out of bounds play that you have not seen. We're just going to try it. We're going to see if it works. But it's the same thing with a quick hitter, a couple other options. I think they do work if you've worked on them in practice. But again, you're not reinventing the wheel at this point of the season. Practices are shorter, better to be precise and be really good at a few things.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. I'd like to have some full court pressure stuff added, some minor tweaks before playoff time. I think that's huge because at some point you might need to be able to get a couple buckets or change the momentum of a game. And sometimes teams don't see that pressure. They don't expect it. From a defensive end, I think that's one thing that you could definitely be able to do. And you could dedicate a majority of a practice, especially at the end of the season where you have a lot of stuff in. Well, hey, we're going to work on our zone pressure today for the whole practice, because we don't have a game to Friday. We have a whole week off, Start thinking about what are some things that you could have in the back in the back burner as it gets to the playoff time.
Right. I agree. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. I think that's good. All right. See you in a week, Coach.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye.
Hey, Coach, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you're looking for more videos like that, check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. 14-day free trial. I do not think you'll be disappointed.